everyone. I'm Tina. This is To the Inner Wild. Thanks for stopping by. We're just going to do a little bit of tarot on this deck called Omegaland. I haven't used it before. I'm curious as to what it shall tell me or tell us, because this is a shared, I almost called it fortune because I think maybe I just saw that on the cover, Wheel of Fortune. It's about having your own hand at destiny, that even though the cards are dealt, that you're ultimately the one that's holding them up and deciding on when or what to put down based on, your situation. What's to your highest benefit. Sometimes that may mean calling a bluff or putting on a poker face. Things get a little short-handed, and making the best of things. That's really ultimately the winning hand that you have, regardless of what type of cards you have in hand, physical hand. Yeah. All right, angels, yes, you are here, and yes, you are welcome and invited in. Spirit, you are most welcome. Ascended masters and higher selves, as well as guardian angels of those that are watching, as well as my own, to collaborate and give us a message for us to focus on. Today is September 25th. 25th, yeah, it's a Wednesday. Not even September, it's August. Oh my God. September 25th, Saturday, may mean something more later. Off the bat, 925 is a commonly known marking for silver, which is also known to be a protective common metal. Its primary known purpose is to support commerce and trade. So reflect on what this hidden message means for you. For me, it signals what we value, thus implying a need to monitor our daily investments. All right. What would you like for us, Spirit? To focus on? Angel, Spirit, higher selves, ascended masters. That's a 7 of Cups in reverse. 7 of Cups. Why am I drawing like, okay, 7 of Cups is the cups that you see that are floating in the air, almost dreamlike in its ambiance of reflection over the choices, the many, many choices that you have, ones that are most invisible to you, and partially what you've been programmed to think of what your choices are. Now we have it in reverse. Now that could accentuate or obliterate its meaning. So from what I've learned in practice, intuitively speaking, it's in context. Let me just read it, okay? Let's see here. So 7 of Cups here is, this is the first that I've seen of this depiction, is that walking into a cave, you have your light shining through, and this is almost like going hermit mode, but very surface level. You're saying to the person that's following you that everything's okay and everything looks just fine because you found safety right here. You're shining the light into that. But what we're neglecting to see is what's beneath that. The pitfalls of not seeing any further. So this is a very shallow view of, this is of no insult because I'm also speaking of within my own view of things. So we see the ultimate pitfalls that many have taken because they did not look beneath the surface. And part of this is not just looking at our situation of, the exterior, the physical realm, but also what's happening on the inside with these pitfalls of what our vices may be and how that leads into self-destruction and missed opportunities. If a misstep is taken, if you're not watching your step, there's like a little hole over there that the next step forward could be easily one of our own demise. And it could be as subtle as, retail therapy or one drink or, you know, habits are formed from building those set foundations. So, you know, I hate to get all preachy on you, but this is something that I need to hear myself. So when we look at that, we see skeletons, 1, 2, 3 heads, 2 hands, and they're both holding a bottle. So it's like left hand, right hand, not knowing what the other one is doing, when both, in actuality, both actions, whether it be receptivity or the action hand, you know, conceptually seeing that it has the same effect, it has the same impact, which is very futile. So much so that we're floating around in this abyss, not even reaching rock bottom, which is a good source of how many resurrect and rectify their issues once they hit rock bottom, and there's only one other way to go. But when you're floating within this, when we're floating within this, we're not reaching that bottom. So it's hard to really understand things that kind of get lost in the shuffle and in the stir of things. Yeah, there's many sources. There's snakes all around here. Sources of wisdom. And that points, okay, I see 4 heads of snakes when there's more. It's not all seen here. But ultimately, the ratio of how many heads we see of snakes to persons, skulls, we see a lot more wisdom depicted here than a downfall. But the downfall is part of the wisdom that we're also seeing here. There are 5 jugs of water or some kind of liquid there, and that points to something similar to the 5 of Cups, which is mourning a loss. Yeah. Except this is deeper loss, because in the 5 of Wands, originally Rider-Waite-Smith, we see 3 that have fallen that are empty, and 2 that stand behind the cloaked person, which is also visually parallel to the Hermit, black cloaked. So we're not really seeing the 2 of Cups that are standing behind us, the harmonization, the ability to still celebrate in the aspect of, how do I say it, angels? Yeah, it's the 2 of Cups, a harmonization. But here we see 2 on hand. Yeah, so it's almost like the inverse of it. Maybe we've tried to seek comfort, you know, seeking temporary harmonization with the 2 of Cups and not seeing the 3 of what we can celebrate. So it's kind of like this inverse context, but it's still within the same mode of the 5 of context feels. Tarot readers would very much understand this, and if you understand conceptually what I'm trying to convey, you would get it. Yeah, you would get it. And I trust that you do, or that you will, because this is a very commonplace. Now, when we look at that, I'm just noticing here 1 is found here, and 1 is strapped onto this person. So they're seeking reserves, and so 1 comes on. So it's a total of 7 of, yeah, it's a total of 7 of Cups. Yeah. Okay. So the 5 of Cups meaning is very much embedded here, along with the 2 and the 3. That's a very hidden underlying meaning there for us. 5:57 on the clock. Once I hit the restart. So yes, so it looks like this person is trying to help the person behind him, because I cannot detect whether or not that this person has a jug of water in hand, but it's like, hey, here, look, I found something, a reserve for us to survive on. Here's one for you. But before we go on trying to help others, we must watch our steps. Oh, okay, that's really what it is. When you are leading, or when you act as a leader, it is very, very important here to watch each step. And it's not to micromanage yourself, but to keep yourself on task and steady and really focused and aligned towards what you're doing. Yeah, that's really what that is. It's not just having a positive attitude and taking the steps forward, but equally being mindful, cognizant of each step along the way, and not to lose sight of that. You can't get distracted by rallying up the troops. Those that will follow are called to follow. You do not need to over amplify the attraction towards what your findings are, what you're trying to find, what your journey is, in the essence of attracting others. Our purpose is not to advertise, but to share the journey, to still maintain focus on our own, because everybody's answers are different. The methods which we seek them, there may be similarities, but ultimately we are still learning, and to remain like having a humble approach in what we're seeking, that we have not sought everything yet. There is still much to learn. That's the Seven of Cups. Within its reversal, I'd say that it's proceeding with caution. When we dream up possibilities, when we're aiming towards a specific destination, a route, a vision, that we are very understanding of what's lying beneath our surface, not just to call out our vices, but to be very aware of each step and how they're impacted by the subtle as well as extreme vices, that one thing leads to another. Yeah? Okay, that is our word for today. Thank you, angels, higher selves, guardian angels of myself and those that are watching, the ascended masters and spirit. Thank you very much for this insight. I hope you found that helpful. If so, give it a like, give it a share, give it a comment, and give it a subscription. Well, because there are many more coming. I just took a little break to handle some stuff and just kind of recalibrate. And I'm very happy about that. Yeah. So, it was very much needed. And that is it for now. I'll catch you again later. Until then, stay safe, be well, and that's it for now.